Of all the accomplishments achieved during his presidency, Reagan's greatest source of pride was the economy. In 1981, no problem facing America was more serious than the economic crisis. Reagan knew that nothing would be possible without a sound economy. In July 1981, Congress approved much of the plan Reagan had brought to Washington to deal with the country's economic emergency.
Mr. Speaker, the President of the United States.
I have come to speak to you tonight about our economic recovery program and why I believe it's essential that the Congress approve this package. These policies will make our economy stronger, and the stronger economy will balance the budget, which we're committed to do by 1984.
It took a compromise, with Reagan accepting a 25% reduction over 3 years instead of the proposed 30%. But it provided the necessary jolt to turn around the economy. The economic expansion that began a year after the first phase of the tax cuts went into effect created more than 19 million new jobs. Realizing they could keep more of what they earned, Americans went out and made more money, which they used to buy houses, furniture, appliances, and cars. Personal taxes were simplified and reduced to the lowest rate since 1941. President Reagan always believed that the vast majority of American workers, whatever their occupations, have an inherent pride that promotes excellence. He further believed that when this pride and energy are unleashed, America is unbeatable.
If we're to remain true to the American dream, we must preserve the chance for every small businessman and woman to make it big. And you know something? I believe we're doing just that. From housing to high technology, America is on the move, and small business is leading the way. We are creating an economic recovery built to last and to get better and better. Inflation is down by 3/4. The prime rate has been cut nearly in half, and tax rates have been cut by 25% for everyone who works and earns. Something else is getting better. That bureaucratic monster who would slay private enterprise is being taught a new command. It's called HEAL. The growth of regulations has been cut by more than 1/3. And that means 300 million hours of federally imposed paperwork have been eliminated.
In the president's eyes, adversity made us a tougher people. New competition caused us to work harder. And he credits the American people for having made it happen, not just the factory workers and plant managers. Reagan felt that much of our growth during the 80s wasn't a result of the giants of American industry, but rather the small, innovative companies that tapped new markets, often with new products born of their own ingenuity. He felt that most of those millions of new jobs produced during the economic expansion were created by entrepreneurs, independent business people pursuing one of the oldest American dreams. The president made it a point to meet entrepreneurs whenever he could, and he felt that communism's eventual failure and capitalism's triumph could be seen in the faces of these people.
Now that our program is doing what we said it would, I keep wondering why they don't call it Reaganomics anymore. I guarantee you that we're not going back to the disasters of tax and spend and spend.
Another of Reagan's accomplishments was the reduction of government interference in the economy, making more money available for investing in the nation's future. Again, he credits the American people. Reagan was the freshman head of state when he flew to Ottawa in the summer of 1981 for his first economic summit, the annual meeting of 7 industrialized nations held on a rotating basis in each country. The president remembers their freewheeling discussion about the state of the world's economy. None was very enthusiastic about it, but one of the 6, France's Mitterrand, suggested that America's high interest rates were contributing to the world's economic problems by draining off capital from other countries. but support from the other 6 was not forthcoming. Aware that Reagan was new on the job, they listened as he described the economic recovery program he was trying to get through Congress. Though they wished him well, he suspected that several of them thought poorly of some of his more radical ideas for cutting taxes and reducing the government's interference in economic affairs. 2 years later, when Reagan was the host of the summit amid the breathtaking colonial beauty of Williamsburg, Virginia, the U.S. economic turnaround was beginning to take hold. At dinner the first night, the 7 sat around a big round table. Amid total silence, Helmut Kohl, Chancellor of West Germany, said, "Tell us about the American miracle." They listened intently as Reagan spoke. Not long after, the president began reading about a wave of tax cutting in several of their countries. And during subsequent economic summits, several of the other leaders told Reagan that they were introducing economic and taxation policies based on his, not only cutting taxes, but reducing the regulation of business.